Smart spine. Allow your lower back to round towards the back of the chair. Notice how you tend to look down as you do this. Then allow your lower back to move in the opposite direction, arching away from the back of the chair. Notice how you tend to look up as you do this.
Smart balance. Notice as you're sitting there which sit bone you have more weight on, the left or the right, and then shift your weight to that side. Then shift your weight to the other sit bone. You can help shift your weight from side to side in this way by pushing with your feet.
Smart turning. Slide one hand forward and allow the other hand to slide back. Alternate sliding one hand forward along the thigh and the other hand slides back. Allow your shoulders and your whole spine to twist from side to side.
Smart reaching. Slide your right knee forward, and as you do so, reach forward with your right hand. Slide your left knee forward and reach forward with your left hand. Look towards the hand that is reaching.
Smart alignment. Draw your chin forward and round your spine. Draw your chin back, feel your chest lift and your spine lengthen. Notice how your breath improves.
Smart keying. With your forearms parallel to the floor, let your wrists bend and feel the fingers relax and hang. Softly draw your fingers back to the start position. You can coordinate this with the movement of your spine.
Smart sitting is a tool that you can use in any situation where you're required to sit for prolonged periods. Once you have discovered your natural working posture through smart sitting, then you can adjust your workstation to suit your individual needs.
Smart sitting is about sitting in a way that's both comfortable and safe. We've developed this workshop because we've noticed the need for people to find ways to sit more comfortably. What we find is that we have to sit for many hours of our day in our jobs and doing the things that we need to do, and it can be less comfortable than we wish, and in fact people can get rather fatigued from doing so.
The movements can be done anytime, as often as you like. You need to work with them regularly, and this helps develop an awareness in your body or a sensitivity in your body to when you start to sit uncomfortably or develop tension. Then you can learn to come back to what we call a home position or a neutral position.
The ideal application for the smart sitting workshop is in the workplace, where we're required to sit for long periods of time. And the way that we often deal with sitting in the workplace these days is to address the issue of ergonomics. That means to adjust the furniture that we use so that we can sit comfortably. However, what often happens is that we don't have what we call personal ergonomics. That means a sense of how we can support ourselves using the furniture that we have.
We help people find support for their body through their skeleton, through their bones. When we're well aligned over our bones, then the muscles can relax and work in the way that's most comfortable and efficient for them. Often if we hold a posture and hold a muscle in a position that's unsupported by the rest of the skeleton, then this is what leads to tension and pain.
Our goals for the future for the Smart Sitting Workshop is to introduce it and expand it, in fact, into the corporate sector and into the public sector, where we find that people are feeling uncomfortable in their working environment, perhaps are fatigued at the end of the day, and what we find is that uncomfortable is often a precursor to unsafe. And when it's unsafe, that means that there's a potential for workplace injury, and we can prevent that.
The Feldenkrais method was begun by Moshe Feldenkrais in the early 1960s. He was a martial artist and a mechanical engineer who spent a lot of time studying the body and understanding how the body was designed to move in its natural form.
The movements that we use mean that you're meeting your occupational health and safety requirements, and it has a preventative role in the workplace as well as a rehabilitative role for anybody who's experienced some sort of workplace injury, who has had that injury from sitting at the computer or doing long-term sitting activities.
By all means, Feldenkrais is ideal for people who have restrictions in their movement and who might not be able to go to a normal exercise class.
Some businesses find it useful to run workshops where they take clusters of the people in the workplace to participate in a workshop that runs for a couple of hours. And then in some contexts then we do individual assessments for people in the workplace, and in other workplaces they just find it useful that we guide people individually from the start through some of the movements that are going to be useful for them.
Feldenkrais is ideal for anybody of any age or ability, ranging from people with more significant disabilities to those who are very healthy and active.
We called our workshop Smart Sitting because when we think about posture and correct posture, people often have an image of what a good posture is like, and they try to adjust themselves to find that posture. But what we find is that when we do that, we're not very comfortable, and that we can't sustain that posture that we imagine is the right way to do things.
Posture isn't a static thing. We don't get into a posture and hold it all the time. That's not comfortable for most of us. So the Feldenkrais method can help you discover your posture in a dynamic, fluid way that really is much more comfortable. Well, most of us develop habits when we do something for a long time like sitting. We develop habits that maybe lead to discomfort and tension in the body. So during the Feldenkrais movements, you'll learn about your habits, and then you'll learn different ways of moving and holding yourself so that you're more comfortable and aligned in gravity.
The interesting thing about the Smart Sitting workshop and the movements that we teach people to do is that you can do the movements in the workplace, sitting where it is that you sit for your work, or in a different context, in a different kind of sitting environment.